I just have to win Calypso's stupid little contest, and any prize I ask for will be mine.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 toughest levels ever featured in the Twisted Metal games. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Metro Square, Twisted Metal 2012.
I love to see the people so happy, so excited.
The cool thing about TM12 is how the maps in this installment are much bigger than any of the games that came before it. Thanks to the PS3's power, maps could get more complex with hidden pathways thrown underground or inside buildings. But Metro Square is a prime example of how one can get lost in the sauce of potential. This is simply way too big of a map, and the lack of meaningful landmarks outside of the ice rink can make it difficult to determine where exactly you are. And if you do end up at the ice rink, be prepared for some of the most frustrating controls imaginable.
Because when they die violently, they're so surprised. Am I right? No one expects to die on Christmas.
Amazonia, Twisted Metal 2. You could say that Amazonia is an indicator for just how hard TM2 is going to get in the second half of the tournament. This whole map is nothing but narrow pathways surrounded by lava, and it winds up making the whole fight feel just a tad claustrophobic. Yes, you can drive on the lava, but in doing so you run the risk of losing meaty chunks of your health bar. So, you need to know which teleporters lead to where. Our advice is to open up those secret pathways as early as possible, just to give you a bit more breathing room. Minion Stadium, Twisted Metal Black. It does not matter if you're fighting Minion or having a normal deathmatch on this map. Minion Stadium is one of the most excruciating levels in TMB. As you can see, you and your opponent, or opponents, are thrown into an arena that has been walled off from the outside world. Because of the open space, you are likely going to be harassed throughout the fight, whether it be from Minion getting up in your business, or your enemies targeting you from a distance. You're just going to want to spam the shield and stealth abilities as often as you can. Black Rock Stadium, Twisted Metal 2012.
I designed this arena to bring about the greatest loss of life in the shortest amount of time.
Though not the hardest level in the franchise, Black Rock Stadium is the hardest level in TM12. On top of worrying about chasing your targets and maintaining your health, your biggest hurdle in this stage is simply navigating it. One segment of the map has spiked wrecking balls swinging around that can deal quite a bit of damage to your car. Another segment is flooded with lava and only gives one exit to escape. As for most of the area, you might grow frustrated with the constantly rising and sinking platforms that can mess up your shots. It all can get quite annoying.
It's like a slaughterhouse, but for people. I'm actually quite proud of it.
Holland, Twisted Metal 2. Once again, we have a map that grants a ton of wide open space for you and your rivals to duke it out in. However, it's not just that makes this level hard. You only have two spots where you can retreat for a very, very brief bit of respite, those being the windmills located on the far ends of the map. But once those are destroyed, you may find it difficult to discern where your opponents are due to the crop fields and the PS1's limited draw distance. And this can be exceptionally frustrating when you've got 5 or 6 other cars gunning for you. The Maze, Twisted Metal 4. Earlier we mentioned how easy it is for you to get lost in TM12's Metro Square. For as annoying as Metro Square can be in that regard, it comes nowhere close to being as obnoxious as TM4's Maze. There are so many times where you'll feel it's impossible to get a hit on anybody because of how small of a space this map is. You're basically going to have to rely on mortars, napalm, and, assuming it's good enough, your special weapon. Just be prepared for this battle to take way longer than the rest of them. Rooftop Combat, Twisted Metal 95. Credit where credit is due, Sony did a fantastic job of bringing the original Twisted Metal forward and making it play well, but no amount of improvement can ever fix the travesty that is Rooftop Combat. This map in particular isn't the most technically sound on account of the collision not always working properly when nailing lands. Sure, it may look like you landed on the next rooftop, until your car starts to tip over and then just starts falling several stories down. Luckily, the AI doesn't always know how to handle this either, and may deliberately plummet off ledges depending on your position. Trust us, nothing is more hilarious than watching Minion himself take aim and start firing as he's falling to his doom. Millennium Drive-In, Twisted Metal Black. We promise this is the last open area type of map on this list, but of all the levels in TMB, Millennium Drive-In is the most stressful level in the entire game. It's even more stressful than fighting Warhawk. You and 8 other enemies are crammed into this small drive-in theater with absolutely no cover of any kind. Well, there is one building in the lot, but it is way too tiny to rely on for defense. You're just going to have to take your chances and make every shot count here. Blimp, Twisted Metal 3. The thing about Blimp is that it isn't hard because of the layout necessarily. It's awful, sure, but the main reason why Blimp is obnoxious is because of a mechanic TM3 introduced in its tournament mode. Enemy regeneration. No matter how many times you kill an enemy, they will instantly respawn as if nothing happened. Your only means of disabling this is to track down and destroy all 5 panels on the map. Then, you can proceed as normal. We just hope you can eliminate everybody before Primeval shows up with his own busted stats. Hong Kong, Twisted Metal 2. This is, without a doubt, the hardest map to tolerate in the entire Twisted Metal series. How can a map of this size still feel so suffocating and confusing? Well, by making every road look the same as the road next to it, and by placing power-ups at the end of those roads. Of course, this level only gets harder once Darktooth shows up, and it doesn't get any easier when his second form comes into play. Conserve your turbo so that you can make clean getaways when you need to. Otherwise, you're gonna be in a constant bind. Which Twisted Metal level gave you the most trouble? Did it make our list? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great videos every day.